Today I want to share some of my favorite first lines in literature. These are books from Russian, from Italian and French literature. So let's dive in. So the very first one will be Anna Karenina by Lev Tolstoy. The famous opening line is, "All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way." This sentence immediately sets the tone for the novel, but the very first sentence is actually an epigraph. The famous line will be, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay. Мне отмщение и аз воздам." This quote from the Bible emphasizes divine justice and foreshadows the novel's themes of fate and morality. Anna Karenina tells the story of a married woman who falls into a passionate affair with the Count Alexei Vronsky. The second one will be The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. I'm so grateful to my teacher, to my professor from the University of Vienna. He opened this author for me. It is an epic poem written in the 14th century, and Dante, the author himself, he is the protagonist in this book, and he follows his journey through the three realms of the afterlife: the Inferno, hell, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. He's guided by the Roman writer Virgil and then by Beatrice. Here Dante explores redemption and sin. This book is a masterpiece of world literature. It's a very spiritual book, but the first line will be, I will read this for you in English. "When I had journeyed half of our life's way, I found myself within a shadowed forest, for I had lost the path that does not stray." This first line tells about the midlife crisis. He tells of our life's way. Dante wrote this book when he was 35. So when you're 35, you are not young anymore, but you're not old. And it symbolizes also, when with the word shadowed forest, that you are not spiritually aligned with God. And Dante feels himself also lost in life. It's a very beautiful book, so I highly recommend this to read. So the next book will be this Marcel Proust, Swann's Way. This is the first volume of his masterpiece In Search of Lost Time, à la recherche du temps perdu. This was also one of the books for our university, and it explores themes of memory and time. Marcel Proust slows things down, and you are in this world of the narrator. The very first line of Swann's Way from the first volume is, "For a long time I went to bed early. Longtemps je me suis couché de bonne heure." This first sentence marks the beginning of the narrator's journey into memory. So the first section is from the very first book of Cambrai, and he remembers the first time his childhood trauma when his mother didn't give him a goodnight kiss. But the first volume, it focuses on Charles Swann, a wealthy man in the French society who falls in love with the elusive Odette. I don't know how many editions I have, but you can see Marcel Proust. Here, Marcel Proust, Charles Swann. You know what's so beautiful about this book? Marcel Proust, he told to Jean Cocteau that this book is a painting, and that is so true, because as an art historian, he gave so many inspiration from art history, paintings that are so famous. So I highly recommend it to read. The next book that I chose. This is not a classical book, but this is a book from the contemporary French writer Ernaux, and this was my first book from the author. The book is called Simple Passion. The first sentence sets the entire story. So, from September last year, I did nothing else but wait for a man, for him to call me and come around to my place. You know, I found myself questioning why she chose to involve herself with a man who was from such a different world, and not only from such a different world, but also he was a married man. And I questioned myself, why did she involve herself with him? And he was Russian, she was French, and how long could this affair last? And you know, when I finished this book, you know, I love to sketch, and I wrote down everything, every quote from the book. It's here in my sketchbook. These phrases will always stay with me. I discovered what people are capable of. In other words, anything sublime or deadly desires, lack of dignity, attitudes and beliefs I had found absurd in others until I myself turned to them, without knowing if he brought me closer to the world. The next phrase that really touched me was, when I was a child, luxury was fur coats, evening dresses, and villas by the sea. Later on, I thought it meant leading the life of an intellectual. Now I feel that it is also being able to live out a passion for a man or a woman. I really recommend it to read. So these were my books. I really recommend you to read, and you know, these first lines are everything. So take care of yourself, and I will see you in another video. Bye.